So this is actually a comparison. And I'm only going to cover a couple of points on this, not everything. You can take a photo of it and see what the comparisons are. So as far as first reach, email is their slowest, right? And push notification compared to even SMS, actually SMS and push notification are at the same level, which is instant, right? Boom, you're able to reach. Versus email, which they may or may not check at that time. Okay. What else? If you look at the average open rates, email is at about 23% versus SMS and apps, which have about 90%. It's a huge difference. Now, what else is important here? Reach probability, meaning what is the probability you're able to reach whoever you're trying to reach. Obviously, on an email, it's a little bit low, and SMS and push notifications, it's high because it's one-to-one. It goes directly to their phone or whatever. Okay. First, I want to cover visual element is another big difference. On an email, you can visually do anything you want. You're not going to be able to do that in SMS or in app notifications. Okay? Because the reason I'm mentioning that in some businesses, that visual effect will make a difference. Okay? Not always can something work for you just by sending a text. Okay? Now, when it comes to cost, okay, we said push notifications are free. So not low, there's just no cost. Email is actually low cost. I'm sorry, medium cost. And SMS are very high compared to emails. Okay? Somebody asked a question. Does email really work? Right? We send these hundreds of thousands of mails. We get lower open rates. We're only looking at 23%. Probably the click-through ratios are even lower. By the way, still across all digital mediums, email is the most economical and one of the best ROI-driven marketing. Okay? So no company has turned off email marketing. Okay? They may stop something else, but they'll not stop email marketing. That's the way it is. Yes, we have all the problems. We see it here, right? We have a lot of problems with email, with spam, with malware, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But still, it ends up being the best medium. SMS and push notifications work very well with certain segments, with certain types of products, with certain messaging. But ultimately, the ROI, the best ROI comes out of email across any digital space. And we discussed that, right? 1 out of 38. So for $1 spent on email, the ROI is $38. Huge. It's a 38x. Believe me, you do any kind of marketing out there and tell me you get a 38x return. You won't be able to. But again, if you do everything right. If you start just bombarding stuff, you're not going to get any of that kind of return. So SMS, email, and push notifications are equally important as that of social media. So don't think that social media is more important or less important. They're all at the same par because you have to have different techniques and different strategies working across the board. Okay? And we'll be getting into social media much more. Right message to the right person at the right time at right frequency works well. Okay? Only if you do all these things right is when you get those conversions that we're talking about or the open rates. Because if you're just going to bombard people with 10 messages a day, you're not going to do the messaging correctly, you're not going to go get those, even on email, you're never getting the 23% open rates. By the way, if you go out and buy a database for email and start sending it out, my bet is you would not get open rates higher than 5 or 10%. Versus if they were your own database that you've built, you would probably hit the 20+ percentages easily. I've seen companies hit much higher than that. Be generous with the transactional messages. However, be smart and selective about promotional. The reason we talked about generous with transaction messages because one, it gives you a chance to connect with the customer. Second, because it builds trust in the customer that you're constantly following up with them, okay? And ultimately will build loyalty. And then promotional, you just don't want to bombard them. Be selective and smart about it. Always try to offer some or other value to your customers in messages. We keep on saying this. We talked about it when we talked about content for your homepage. What was the first thing we talked about on the homepage or any page that we need to offer? What was that thing we talked about?
Landing page.
No, we said the first thing, sorry, somebody said it, I think I heard. Huh?
Proposition.
Value proposition.
Value proposition, good. And that's very important. That's the same thing here. Offer a value proposition, okay? Nobody wants to just see a message. Nobody just wants to visit a website. There is a reason they're doing it for, right? There's a reason they will open these messages, okay? Do monitor your key metrics to evaluate success of your campaign, okay? So make sure you look at what are the delivery rates, what are the open rates, okay? How many people are actually clicking on links, okay? That will tell you how successful you are. And then carry out an A/B testing with a small group before launching the full campaign. So A/B testing, we talked about it. That is basically taking two versions of the same campaign, running it with different people and seeing which works. So A or B test, basically. And you'll hear this all through marketing. Any subject we keep on discussing in marketing, it keeps on referring back to A/B testing. Because without testing, you don't know what works. And regardless of how big of a marketer somebody is or how many years of experience they've had, they will not know. Okay? Because your business is unique, your messaging might be unique, your customer base might be unique, or a combination of all of that is unique. So they have to test. Okay? There's not something that, look, I'm going to plug and play. I'll put all this together and it's going to work. No. All right. That brings us to an end on our messaging, which covered email marketing, which covered SMS marketing, and push app notifications. Okay?